Now we're gonna go through some of the comments. Let's see what the other people have said. So, da-da-da-dum, da-dum. Like 15 years ago, my father, who's from Eastern Europe, like myself, complained that he can't even talk to women in the USA, in the sense that they're awfully unapproachable, and he's absolutely right. Don't worry, it's coming to Eastern Europe as well. It's like the benefits of social media. It's coming everywhere now. I'm expecting the whole world to be conquered by social media soon enough, so this is gonna change completely, even in the weirdest places. And I know you had a wave in the past year, so this video is from like a year ago anyway. Sorry for that. But you had a wave of Americans just going to countries like Thailand and things like that, looking for their wives, new wives, and so on. That's going to change as well. And I know it's about the culture, it's about the, but yeah, everything is going to change. In my experience, if they find you attractive, they appreciate the approach. True. If they don't find you attractive, they will shame you and they will abuse you. Oh, okay, that's crap. It's pretty demoralizing, to be honest, literally playing a gamble whether the girl is going to be nice or really nasty. I think we need to learn how to read red flags because, like it's been said in this video as well, we're really crappy at this. So if I would try to teach my kid something is read red flags. You see red flags, run for your life. The why don't men approach me argument is basically asking the question, why doesn't the right man just fall into my lap with no effort or risk on my part? Because life isn't a fairy tale and you're not Cinderella, that's why. And it's still confusing. We're supposed to be romantic, but not being romantic. She wants the Prince Charming, but when she gets him, usually she's gonna try to change him into something else that she's gonna eventually not like. Or like we've seen a video a few days ago, we think we want something, we're told we want something, but we actually don't really want that something. These are the parts that I think, me personally, it loses me completely. I'm like, is there even a point in trying at some point? So, what's your experience? Because I'm really new to this single thing. I'm not even thinking about approaching a woman at the moment. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me until I'm like ready to even ponder the idea. So I'm gathering information. I'm getting myself used to. Basically, this is kind of why I started this reaction video. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in the world of dating and interacting with the opposite sex. I met my husband at work. We chatted a lot and a lot, and I thought he liked me. But no matter how many hints I dropped, he never asked me out. It depends on when this happened because the HR department is really, really, really willing to take any kind of complaints. One day I found out that he was being transferred to another of our company's locations in our city, and I wasn't going to see him regularly anymore. I decided that I had to do something. So the next time I saw him, I walked up to him, handed a piece of paper with my phone number on, on it, and said, "Call me sometime if you want to go out," and walked off. Okay, ballsy, I like that. I am not generally an outgoing person, and it was so unbelievably nerve-wracking to do it. And you see, this is how it feels for the dude all the time. I have so much sympathy for guys having to ask women out. Anyway, he called the very next day, and 15 years later, we are still together. Ladies, ask them out. Many times, the shy guys are the sweetest. Yeah, and in this at the moment, I think it's not even only about being shy. So if you go out in a club, you're most likely not going to find a woman alone. They're going to travel in packs. They're always guarded and protected and always defensive. And I do get it. I do understand. You have a lot of weirdos and freaks. I used to work in Stratford, and the shit stories that I used to hear from the guys in security with spiked up drinks and all of this crap. I get it why women are a bit defensive. It's trying to find that middle ground. That's where I think it would save things, but apparently it's quite hard to get there. And in the workplace, this was what, 15, 7 months, almost 16 years ago for Miss Jenny here. Now, anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of HR department. So at work, I don't know if I wouldn't get like written signals on the wall that like I am actually smiling at you just for you because you dude, I like you. Not even, man. I need it in writing right now because I'm scared. I'm a jeopardy of losing my life, being called a freak. So I don't know. Not my life, but like job wise and things. I do get the fact that dudes are kind of taking a chill pill, at least the normal ones. And if you have a shy guy as well, on top of all of the societal bullshit that we have around, that guy's not gonna say anything to anyone. Okay. As everyone else in the comments, oh, I actually like this one. Cool. As everyone else in the comments has said, society treats attractive men well and unattractive men like the plague. No, not only. You can be attractive, but you need to earn six figures. You need to be funny, not too funny. You need to be romantic, but not too romantic. Independent, but not too independent. Love her, treat her like you're equal, but in the same time, take care of her like she's a child. You have to do your part in the family, but she's not gonna cook, clean, or whatever because that's the role that was assigned for. But okay, I do not care. I don't mind cleaning the house. I don't mind helping in the kitchen. I don't mind helping with anything. That's why I was saying at the beginning with my idea of relationship is growing together, not just screwing each other over. So, but it tends to become tiresome. It's like you need to fit so many things, and you're like, okay, but we're forgetting how to be ourselves, and it's quite hard to fill all of those standards up. Like example, I go to work, I do a lot of overtime just because she wants to go on holidays, and of course I'm the dude, so I have to put up most of the tab on the holidays. Okay, granted. Come home from work tired as hell. Oh, but you don't help in the house. Oh, but you don't spend that much time with me anymore. It's like no matter how you do it, it seems like you're set up to fail. If that makes sense. And I'm not even interested in the dude's opinion. If there's a woman watching this, you tell me how does it work, because I'm just trying to learn and figure out both parts. Oh, I've never done this actually. I went. Wait. This is from Frank. Let's see. I went to a speed dating event back in early December 2023. Okay. Two women complained that men don't approach them. I mentioned it's because women often don't do anything to invite an approach, like eye contact or smiling. Oh, smiling is important. I like smiling. But they each looked at me dumbfolded. Women don't really understand how dating and relationships work. because most of the responsibility falls on the man. The man has to initiate, the man has to ask, the man has to be consistent, and the woman is just there receiving. Whoa. Yeah, of course you're gonna have the comments with like it's just not worth the effort anymore. Okay, I am 59 and I can say that I believe that women are absolutely terrible at navigating and improving relationships. I have been dumbfounded so many times. Sad. I still think there are exceptions. There will always be exceptions. And all of these things, does it mean that we have to give up? Call me a dumbass romantic, but I don't think so. I'm still surprisingly worried and whatever about what he said at the beginning with 50% of young dudes don't even approach or never approach the woman in real life. That's what scares me a bit. But let's be honest, my kid is 6.5 and he might not get invited to a birthday party because he's not playing Roblox. And I'm like, what? So the kids in our days, they're already mostly interacting only online. So drinking is kind of becoming old fashioned. And granted, it destroys more lives than weed. So I would understand that. It's good for them for not drinking that much. Clubs are closing around everywhere just because of like lack of drinking alcohol and so on. So how will they actually get to interact with each other in the future? I think there was like a sci-fi movie at some point where men and women never actually had sex. It was all done like put a helmet on, you're in your living room, I'm in my living room, and you're oh yeah, that's it. Was that good for you? Yeah, baby, cool. Let's send our stuff to the lab and program our baby. That's it. I think we're going to that. Plus, have you seen the evolution of like robots in China? They're doing some impressive stuff out there. Okay. I am older, and back in the day, women considered a man approaching them a compliment and responded gracefully. Today, a percentage of women consider it an opportunity to humiliate a man and signal their independence from man in general. Ah, they will brag how they shot the guy down with their friends. This ruins getting approached for all women. Yes. And this, I think, is embodied by social media. And even if it's not the majority of women, I would suppose there are still quite a few women that would like to get approached, and not in like the rude, dumbass manner, like just like a normal, proper, kind approach, decent. And getting a rejection, it's okay. We all have to face rejection at some point in our lives. Getting stepped on and humiliated on, that's what's going to screw anyone's like willingness to ever try again. The crap that I see with social media usually is that things that get more clicks, the things that get more attraction, things that get more popping in people's eyes are the extremes. And usually it's the negative extremes. That's probably a bug. It is what it is. And that's what gets in people's brains, unfortunately. Not gonna lie, being laughed at for approaching a girl is not a nice feeling. No, it's a horrible fucking feeling. And I just remembered the lady with the 15 years marriage and the guy at work. I always used to have golden rule: never do anything with someone from your workplace. First of all, because she knows where you work. That's one. Second, it's a lesson that I learned, a big important lesson in life that I learned from Roma people back in the day in Romania. And their important rule was don't shit where you eat. And if you take it at face value, maybe it sounds dodgy, but in there, for me, it was discussing with one of my friends, a Roma guy. Um, it's like, how come in the neighborhood that they're living, usually they don't do any dodgy crap, no stealing, no that, no that. They're actually really protective of their neighborhood, and it didn't even matter if you were Roma or not. It was like, okay, you're our neighbor, you're in the neighborhood, we're friends, we're gonna live together, and all of that. And that was his response. It's like, we're taught as kids, don't shit where you eat because it stinks. That's the rule I followed with relationships, and I actually applied that rule to a lot of things. Trust me, it saved me a lot of trouble. And one of the few times when I did end up making a move on a girl that I was working with was the day that actually she gave her notice. Saved me a lot of trouble because apparently didn't really work out. So if I would have tried that while we were working together, probably it would have been damaging to my well-being. So I think you can learn in life from anyone. And some traditions are, like it's been said at the beginning, things that actually worked and survived. So ask women this: what's worse? When unwanted attention happens or when it stops? Ooh, I'm curious. But since this video was done, until now, we already had the part where women were asked, would they prefer to be in the forest with a bear or a man? And apparently, a lot of them chose the bear. So I think is like when unwanted attention happens at the moment. I don't know if you have like. Uh, I'm not sure if you have that many responses from women, but the attention has essentially stopped, not unless they're posting their backside on social media or OnlyFans. Oh, fudge. I completely dislike OnlyFans. It's. I'm not blaming the women that do it. It's the reality is going to be sad for loads of them when they're going to realize that not all of them are going to make money out of it. I've seen cases of what we had in UK, like ambulance workers and things like that, deciding, you know what, I'll just go for OnlyFans because it pays better and so on. Okay, I understand the financial part. I understand that it's easy, or it was really easy at the beginning. Now with more and more competition on the market, I think most of them are gonna end up just having exposed themselves online and not gaining that much financially out of it. So kind of dislike OnlyFans a lot. Never went on it, so I'm not sure how. I don't even know how it looks. Um, Funny story. I had one of my colleagues at some point, another manager in a restaurant that I was working. He was like, "Oh, you know what? I tried to go on OnlyFans, and one of the first things that he saw was one of our employees. And to be honest, she wasn't even that good looking and so on. But he was like, man, now every time I look at her, I kind of see her naked, and I'm like, I want this thing to stop. First of all, because it's like, I don't know. I don't think I would want to imagine to women that all of the women that I work with naked and having to interact with them and so on, and being her boss as well. Like, oh, okay, fine. But it did explain to me some of her attitude. Like every time you were asking her something that was in her job description, she was always like, you know what? I can make more money if I go, and just go. Just go on. Do your thing. Leave us alone. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, and I had waitresses that were taking overtime hours just because they were raising money to get their boobs done and their lips done and their ass done because they wanted to start their OnlyFans. I was like, okay, so you're struggling to a job where you actually have to work and you can use that money to grow yourself, grow your education, grow, I don't know, start investing, start invest in yourself, invest in whatever you want, prepare for a brighter future. But no, you're gonna invest in doing a lot of plastic surgeries for your body just so you can start OnlyFans on the hope that you're gonna make money. And to be honest, the girl was young, quite beautiful as she was, natural. I can't see the logic. But I'm old fashioned when it comes to this. I would like the woman next to me to be as natural as possible. I'm not that good with a lot of makeup. I'm not that good with a lot of perfume. I'm not that good with life in plastic is fantastic. No, it's not fantastic, man. Yeah, I'm old fashioned. Uh-huh. Oh, we have like 3 minutes left and we're done for today. But there's always tomorrow. To fix this issue, society either needs to increase incentives for relationships or reduce risks for relationships to work. Ooh, preferably a bit of both. Oh, tricky one. Increase incentives for relationships. Okay, fine. You have financial ones like whatever you buy bigger ends up being cheaper. That's why it's like if you buy a small carton of eggs, it's gonna cost you more than a big one. The same with milk, the same with pretty much everything, I suppose. So you have the financial part where buying bulk makes it cheaper overall. Tax incentives, yeah, that help. I think you have Hungary that was trying to encourage marriage, encourage the traditional family and traditional values, making babies, and they were giving quite a few incentives for that. Unfortunately, what I see in countries like UK, I'm not sure about America, but yeah, you have loads of incentives for single mothers. And if it seems like they're actually incentivized to be single mothers. They're like, we don't need men anymore. It's like we have the kid, bye bye. And you end up having women with like 3, 4 kids from 3, 4 dudes, and they just make the baby and go. I'm not saying it's only the woman's fault. Definitely, we have part of the responsibility there as well. But at the moment, I see more incentives for being single than being together. It's like the hustle, the headache. That's for the dudes. Yeah, no. It's like you go in a relationship knowing that you might kind of lose everything when it comes to a divorce, and yeah, that the parts where with America with no fault divorce, so it's like no matter what, she's innocent, you're screwed over. That's not a good incentive. So yeah, you would have to change a lot, and it has to come from both sides. It's like really has to come from both sides. That's all I'm gonna say. A woman can have a great conversation with you one day, and the next day look at you like you're a fool for talking to her. Personal experience. Literally just depends how she's feeling that day. Or what personality. The best one that I had is like everything that she was saying at the beginning. So it's like all of the things that we were discussing at the beginning of the relationship were sounding so freaking amazing. There was like so on my line. Like, okay, about kids. Yes, I like that. I like that. Man, we're like vibing. This is perfect. Relationships. Ooh, that's cool. I'm feeling the same thing. This is how a relationship should look like. I don't care about other relationships. I'm talking about mine with the person next to me. Okay, this is how we should vibe. This is how we should work together. Okay, start relationship. A few years pass. Every single point that we both said, most of them that she actually came up with, like, oh, this is what I want. And if the man in my life doesn't give me this and this and this, it's out. I'm like, she broke all of them. And I was like, okay, but what happened? Ah, but it was years ago. Okay, but this is confusing. If we want to spend the rest of our lives together, but you change the rules every few years, and I don't get the memo, and I'm like, am I forced to agree with the new rules that you put? And I don't have any say in that. I call bullshit, basically. And with bullshit, I'm gonna leave it for today. Wow. Thank you again for Team Badek. Well, I'm really bad. Team, so I'm gonna leave it like that. It feels nice to actually have someone watching and interacting. Like I said, I will keep on going with these live streams, alone or not. It doesn't matter. We keep on going. As I said, and I will repeat this: you want to join me on the live stream? Feel free to do. Share your story. You don't have to turn your camera on. That's fine. You can do it with voice. I understand that people might be shy. We already know that from the beginning. Share your story. Tell me how you feel. Tell me your experiences. Men and women are invited and accepted. On that note, have a lovely